So my name is Nyamutuma Mwandila. I'm the Director of Admissions at CRUCIBLE LUSAKA. I am a banker turned educationist, and I get asked a lot of questions about that, but for me it has to do with a passion that I have for education and the passion that I have to guide and ensure that students pick up the right and correct careers. A career isn't wholly based on someone's academic performance. It also comes with their interests. So I ended up swinging towards the Careers and Guidance Department, and that's where I spent a good number of years. How did I hear about CRUCIBLE LUSAKA? I always go with your network is your net worth. So I was stuck at home chit-chatting with a friend of mine, and she brought me this advert. She's like, there's something mysterious. There's an advert of a school. It doesn't have a name. It doesn't have a mission stated. They're just looking for an admissions director. And looking at that role, she felt I would fit in. I said, it looks a little bit different from what I do, but I was thinking it's just one of the already established schools until I came in for my interviews. I was getting into an interview for a school that was hanging off a mission of a bigger company, that is Can Do. So I came in and I said, what is happening here? I'm still going to apply. I'm still going to go forward with the, with the interviews. Then after that, I was called in, I was offered the job. Came my first challenge. All my friends, including some close family members, were asking me, are you sure you want to leave your job at such a recognized and registered university for a school that's not even set up? We don't even know where these people are. By then I'd only met one person, that was our director of the project. So I went on with it, I took the risk. And for me, that is where I started speaking into the CRUCIBLE mission, because it's about risk-taking. It's about hearing about it for the first time and believing in the mission. So our mission, I say it every day I walk into the building, we are preparing ambitious students to become pioneering leaders for a prosperous Zambia. So overall, the students that we are recruiting, the students that we've been looking for the past 1 year, the 28 students, are the leaders that are going to change the country. They're the leaders who are going to improve the country's GDP. So how did we identify these students? One of the questions I was asked in the interviews was, how are we going to find these students? And I was very reluctant to go for the traditional approach where we had to get to some of the most recognized and reputable secondary schools in the country. I won't mention names, but we've got some schools where we believe the best students go to in the country when they're in grade 10 up to grade 12. So I was very reluctant with that approach, and I presented my idea to my supervisor, who is the college principal. I said, we need to cover the whole country. We just never know where this genius child lies, where they are, because we've got geniuses and they're not at these recognized schools. And the reason is simple, they didn't have the capacity to come to these schools. So we set out a plan. We covered all 10 provinces in 4.5 months. I'll give you a story. We went to Mushindamo district, which is, you get to Solwezi, and then you have to drive about 4 hours. It's a 4 hours drive on a 150-kilometer gravel road. So at some point it was just completely cut off from the country because of the heavy rain, so it swept off a bridge. We went to Mushindamo district, we went up north to Kawambwa, we touched Chinsali, we were in Shiwangandu, Chipata, Livingstone, we went down to Mongo, and believe me, we found the geniuses that we were looking for. I won't lie and I won't deny the fact that we still managed to get some students from the recognized schools, the best schools, the so-called best government schools in the country, but we found a genius in Kabompo. We found a genius in Nakonde. So for me, that brings both personal and professional satisfaction to say we are getting these students from across the country, bringing them in and taking them on our mission. The founder scholarship presentation, we had our founder, that's George Bevis, we had our group CEO, Dr. Peter Drawback, we had the advisors in, we had our CRUCIBLE LUSAKA board. It was a big event. Our students were ready to receive their awards. So what does this mean for me in my role and in my personal capacity? After identifying the geniuses that were out there, bringing them to CRUCIBLE, aligning them with our mission, because these students, I must mention, already demonstrated leadership before we even got them to CRUCIBLE. So we are just enhancing their leadership skills. We won't talk about the academic excellence because that is obvious. So for them to come in here, receive those awards today, It's a very, very momentous moment for me at a personal level. Take me back last year, this time around, and tell me we're going to have 28 brilliant students who are going to be giving awards to. I would totally refuse and think that's impossible. So it's been a great achievement. We have a school now, we have the students, who've been given this brilliant, and it's not 100% scholarship, it's 150, because 100% scholarships do not give accommodation, they do not give school uniforms. So for our scholarships, it's 150%. Why? We want the students to concentrate, to be focused on what we are grooming them to be. Last year we had 400 complete applications. They could have gone to almost 600, but the 400 were complete applications. And this time last year, we hadn't even received a single application. Actually, we didn't even have an application portal then last year, this time. And we really had to push. We had to make that direct contact with students. 2025, we've already opened our 2026 application portal, and we've already started receiving applications from students who are applying for the first time. There are some who felt they needed to apply for the second time, and we're still going to give them that opportunity, because each application is a unique case for us. We're not generalizing. So if we are to forecast, we're expecting nothing less than 2,000 applications based on our interactions with the schools last year. And also we're still continuing with our outreach this year. So I did mention that for our last year's admissions process, we were more directly involved with the schools and the district education officers. For this year, we are going to tweak things a little bit. We are going to approach it in a more strategic way. We are getting the provincial education officers directly involved. We are getting our local and international partners involved. Currently, we are actually working hand in hand with the National Science Center, which is the hub for all science-related activities in all secondary schools of the country. We are also working with other not-for-profit organizations such as Comfort Zambia. So we believe once we take the word out to our partners and other stakeholders, it's easier for them to spread out this information for us, not only the students themselves, but other supporters who can come in and who we can work with to drive our mission forward. CRUCIBLE speaks to a 16-year-old in me. When I completed school, I was one of the youngest graduates from my school back in 2004. And I was told, because you've gotten these grades, you've scored these grades, you need to take on a certain career pathway. I never dreamt of that career pathway. However, and sadly, in first year, I was taken in that pathway. So I ended up in this class and I realized it wasn't what I wanted to do. It wasn't how I pictured my future to look like. So what does CRUCIBLE do for me? I'll talk about my role. In as much as I'm in admissions, I try to always keep in touch with the students and the parents, and to make sure that they are living the dream, their career that they've always wanted to have and to achieve here at CRUCIBLE. What is my dream? My dream is seeing a child or a student at CRUCIBLE LUSAKA take on the right career pathway. And CRUCIBLE LUSAKA is going to make sure that dream becomes a reality for a student.